What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Hopefully it's not coffee. But what's the very first thing? You wake up, you become conscious, you're in your bed still. What's the first thing you do? What even made you conscious? Was it an alarm? Did you find yourself grabbing your phone by chance? Most of you watching this video probably grabbed your phone. You probably went on your phone first thing in the morning, and that's the reason you're not where you want to be. It's the fastest way to screw your day up. It's the fastest way to kill your focus. It's going on your phone first thing in the morning. So in this video, I'm going to paint the stark reality of what it's like to go on your phone first thing, because you're not even conscious enough. You don't even have enough awareness to understand the impacts that going on your phone first thing is truly having on your life. And I'm going to put it in a very clear way that should piss a lot of you guys off. So the reality is this. I'm back in Toronto, favorite cafe that I found, at least, or favorite coffee spot that I found. Literally called Found Cafe. Beautiful Trinity Bellwoods. But the reality is this. You are the creator of your reality, okay? If you're watching this, you have the sovereignty to watch this video. You're long gone the world where you're under your parents' guise, spell, control, responsibility, whatever it is. And if you still feel, whether you live at your parents' house, again, there's a lot of mental ties to your parents even after you've left the nest, quote unquote. But let me put it to you straight, first and foremost. Everything in your life, at this point, if you have the sovereignty to watch this video, it's your doing. It's your responsibility. You've attracted it into your life. So, release any notion of what your parents want for you or what your parents say you should do. That's first off. And so I want you to understand you are in full control of your life. Everything that you have in your life right now is because of you, good and bad. So celebrate yourself for the things you've done. Maybe reflect on the other side of things. But concept number one is you have created everything in your life, and you will continue to create everything in your life. Okay? Very important principle, extreme ownership, taking 100% accountability for your life. Okay? Now, if we understand that, then anything that comes into our life, we choose to either accept or, not accept it. Yet so many of you are just accepting the world in which people are asking you to live in, the life that people are asking you to live, the behaviors that people are asking you to act on, the way people are asking you to think, the things that people are asking you to focus on. And a large reason for that is because you're going on your phone first thing in the morning. Because what happens when you go on your phone? You are given information. You are receiving information. And a lot of the time that information, especially in the world we live in today, is very polarizing, is very directive, okay? And so every morning that you wake up, it's like a blank canvas. You have the opportunity to craft the day, to set the tone for the day every single morning, more or less. And this is my experience speaking here. I don't have any science on this. Maybe I should get one of the guys from Actualize, Nick. He's graduated in neuroscience. He probably knows a thing or two about this. But in the morning, what I've found is that your mind is like a blank canvas. Your body, it's settled. All the stimulus from the day before, the emotions. There's a great quote from Matthew Walker, the author of Why We Sleep, that says, a great sleep is the bridge from despair to hope. It basically resets your mood, resets your state, and resets your mind to that more or less of a blank canvas. Now, we're still working on the foundations of all of your habits and your identity from the day before, but it's very easy. It's much easier to feel focused, feel calm, feel grounded first thing in the morning. We can all agree on that, okay? And so it's like a blank canvas, and it's the opportunity to set the tone for the day, okay? So I just want to lay some ground rules here, some ground variables that we're working with. So now you have two options when you wake up. Option one is to go on your phone. And when you go on your phone, what happens? The world tells you how to act, how to set the tone for the day, how you should think, what you should think about, where your mind should be focused on. And on top of that, reaffirms a lot of the time who you already are and who you should be and who you shouldn't be. Because you go on social media and everyone's saying this. Friends that you follow, okay, that's my connection. Oh, I know that person. That the person yesterday knows that person. You know? Do you actually want to know this person, or are you just knowing this person because they're back in your world because you chose to submit yourself to them on social media today? Or did you actually ask yourself, do I even like this person? Or do I even care about this Instagram account that I follow? Or do I care that, you know, this is coming into my newsfeed, whatever that is? And so when you first go on your phone, you're submitted to information that the prior you has allowed into your world, that has accepted into your world. Again, you're the creator of your reality. You have full control. No one made you follow that account. No one made you subscribe to that email. No one made you give your number out to text this person that you're now checking first thing in the morning and they're like yelling at you, or whatever it is. Again, everyone's situation is different. I'm just trying to illustrate the point that when you open your phone, you allow the world to tell you how to act, who you are, who you're not, what you're capable of, where your mind should be, where you should focus, how you should behave, yada, yada, yada. And that's just the facts. You can't deny when you open your phone, you are exposing yourself to what your old self, the prior day, the prior month, the prior years, has allowed into your environment, good and bad. Again, we're not talking goods and bads here right now. I'm just showing you what's going on. And so you need to ask yourself, if I'm not where I want to be, and I continue to play this reactivity game that the world is telling me how I should act, what I should think, where my mind should be, then you don't get the opportunity to be the artist on this blank canvas. The world is the artist, and they get to paint your picture for today on how you should think, where you should put your mind, how you should act, how you should feel. And then a lot of you just fucking accept it, man. And you just go on with your day with this story in your head, or this belief, or this thing that's holding your mind, or this emotion that arose the first thing you woke up because you watched some polarizing piece of content, or you saw a hot girl, and you're all like, you know, aroused now. And you can't think about your work because you fucking, you know, just flip through 3 to 4 different half-naked women on Instagram. And so, the blank canvas becomes very overwhelmed by a world in which you might not even want when you go on your phone first thing. That's part one. Part two is setting the tone. And this is why you can't stay focused. And I'm gonna make another video on this called dopamine spiking and dopamine stacking, which are two very interesting concepts I've observed in the world. But setting the tone for the day by going on your phone first thing is basically like, again, no one intends to wake up and just go on their phone, first of all. So if you don't intend to do that, then you're breaking some sort of word with yourself that says, when I wake up, I'm gonna do X and Y. And if you're not doing that, then you're going on your phone and you're breaking your word, in which you're out of integrity with yourself, which is lowering your self-trust, lowering your, you know, self-esteem, your self-worth, yada, yada. But on top of that, when you go on your phone first thing, and you, especially when you go on social media or you check like 3 or 4 apps within the span of like 5 to 10 minutes, you are submitting yourself to a high number of inputs which is all like little paper cuts on your focus. Because every time you context switch, you go from task 1 to task 2, from scenario 1 to scenario 2. And if we think about short form content for a second, what is short form content? It is hundreds of thousands of different scenarios and topics that we have to consistently context switch from. And our brain all of a sudden is firing at such a high rate of these like short little snippets of and it goes back and forth, and every little context switch, there's a little bit of residue that occurs. There was a book, I forget what the name is, but it was about the brain. It talked about this idea of like residue, task residue, or context switching residue. I forget what was the concept, but it was basically saying like every time you context switch to a new topic, a new task, there's a little bit of left out energy, of left out focus that is stuck from the last one to this one. And it takes a while for that residue to wear off, let's put it. And so when you go through, let's say in the matter of 5 minutes, how many scrolls do you think you can go through? How many reels do you think you can watch in 5 minutes? You know, probably anywhere between 25 to maybe 50 different scrolls and reels that you can consume, which means the 3 seconds and 10 seconds and whatever that you watch, all of those are different points of contact on your brain that create little points of residue. And so if you start your day very shallow and short with high amount of input, the rest of your day, the input that the tone you are setting for yourself is of that. I can't focus on one particular thing. I'm telling myself today that today is going to be filled with nothing but short, consistent distractions that I constantly need to switch my brain from thing to thing to thing to thing, because this is the pre-frame, the foundation that I'm setting for myself when I go on my phone first thing in the morning. And ask yourself, when I go on my phone first thing in the morning, and a lot of you don't even have the awareness to do this, and again, awareness is the number one skill that you need in your life. Awareness is everything, because if you have awareness, you can have understanding of what's going on in your life, and you then have the ability to understand what you need to make change. Another video on that. And so ask yourself, if you do have the awareness, when I go on my phone in the morning, how is my focus the following hours and the rest of the day? Because I can guarantee you are setting the tone for short bursts of focus that is seeking high levels of dopamine that then bleeds into your entire day. And everything from that point forward, and this is the concept of dopamine spiking, will feel hard and difficult, and you will have a much more frictionful time trying to be focused on anything, even menial tasks, even things that you know you want to do, but because you have set the tone for the day at the start of the day by going on your phone and context switching and consuming all of these short snippets of highly addictive and pleasureful content, everything else will feel hard. And the entire day you're going to be seeking for all this context switching. You want to just constantly do stuff. Multitask, right? We all think we can multitask. No, it's because you think that's the way to do it, because that's how you set the tone for the day in and day out, by going on your phone first thing in the morning. The brain can't multitask, brother. You as a being can do something on autopilot and then do something else. That's not multitasking. So get it through your head. Multitasking versus monotasking. Like right now, when I'm sipping coffee, like it's like I don't have to think about putting this to my lips. This isn't multitasking in a way. So those are the two elements. The world, by going on the phone in the morning, is reaffirming who you are, and you are not giving yourself the space to decide who you want to become in the future. And two, you are setting the tone for the day by saying the rest of the day should be filled with high dopamine, low effort tasks that I'm constantly switching between, because that's all I can focus on, because I don't have the focus, because I'm setting the tone for the day, because I'm dopamine spiking. Hopefully we're getting the point. So that's it if we go on our phone. Okay? If that's all you need, get off your phone, go buy yourself an alarm, put your phone away, hide it somewhere. Again, for me, I hide it under my bed. And I just don't see it first thing in the morning. I don't even know it exists. I don't touch it. Put your phone somewhere where you cannot touch it. And you cannot see it in the morning. Okay? Now, what happens when we miraculously do not go on our phone in the morning? Well, number one, we're setting a better tone, kind of. Still got to do a few things, but we're setting a better tone because we're not context switching, we're not task switching at such a high rate for such high dopamine and such low reward. And so now we're giving ourselves a better baseline to work off of that allows us to do hard work. That allows us to stay focused on one thing for a longer period of time. I'm not saying your focus is all of a sudden going to be fucking, lasered, but it's going to be better than if you were to go on your phone first thing in the morning. So you're going to start to set the tone better when you don't go on your phone because life is back to more how its natural state. But back to the blank canvas thing. You have the blank canvas. So now you get to choose what you want to do with it. Now I'm going to give you some things that I do and why I do them, and you can choose if you want to do them or not, okay? So first things first, when I wake up, I check in with myself. I wake up, I just give myself a couple deep breaths, some conscious breathing. Now, one of the things that I've learned recently that conscious breathing does is it forces presence. So we breathe throughout the day, 99.9% of our life, unconsciously, meaning we don't have to think about our breath to breathe. It's pretty cool, actually. But when we do something called conscious breathing, what happens? We take over our breath and we consciously breathe, meaning our mind has to come back into our body and has to feel what's going on in our body. We have to be in our body in order to consciously breathe. And so one of the reasons why I love conscious breathing in the morning is it forces presence. So if you don't know how to meditate, yada, yada, all I ask is that you do 3 to 5 deep breaths first thing in the morning. And as you're doing them, you're checking in with yourself. How am I feeling today? And the cool thing is, how do I want to feel? That's the cool part about the morning. You get to decide how you want to feel. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? Check in with yourself. Okay, whatever. And how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? It's one of the things I do. I wake up, 3 to 5 conscious breaths. I'm going to have a great day. Fuck it, why not? I'm going to have a great day. It's crazy, man. Because you have the opportunity to either say that, oh man, I'm not looking forward to today. Or you have the opportunity to say, man, today's going to be a great day. I don't know how, I don't know why, but today's going to be a great day. Like, bro, if you can say either one of them, why wouldn't you lean on saying you're going to have a great day? So I always start a couple deep breaths. I do this other thing that I won't get into called field of consciousness. I give myself some love. Man, I love you. Today's going to be a great day. Bro, I love the life we're living. Today's going to be a great day. Today's going to be a fucking great day. It's already been a great day. Seriously, like today's been a great day for myself. And guess what? I told myself I'm going to have a great day today. So, first thing in the morning, you have a blank canvas, set the tone, and instead of setting the tone of this reactivity, you don't know what the fuck's about to come at you out of the screen when you open your phone, you decide, what do you want to do? How do I want to show up today? How do I want to feel? And the best part is, you make the rules. So you get to ask yourself, how do you want to feel today? And a lot of you say, man, fuck, I'm not looking forward to this thing. I'm not, this thing, fuck. Why? Say, I'm so excited to see what happens today. I know there's a lot of difficult things that I have to face today, but dude, today's gonna be a great day. Again, whole other concept on good and bad that we can make, but first things first, you have the blank canvas. You get to decide how you want to show up today. Now, in another video, I'm gonna go into the concept of planning tomorrow today, in which you should be deciding what to work on and how you wanna show up today the night before, because today started the night before, okay? Planning tomorrow today, your PM bookend, very important. However, in the morning, you have to reaffirm that. And so you have the blank canvas and you get to decide, what do I want out of my life? What do I want out of my life, all right? So you have this blank canvas and you want to work on the most important thing in your life first thing in the morning. Instead of bringing this thing that does not matter, your phone, the social media, the emails, the texts, none of that shit matters in the first couple hours of the day. Now, if you're waking and you gotta go to work, that's another problem, okay? Because what I'm gonna ask of you is that you start waking up at least an hour before you have any kind of responsibilities that you need to attend to, and you have this blank canvas, and you've answered the question, how do I wanna feel today? What do I wanna do? And what do I want out of life? So that's it right there. What do I want out of life? Again, you should be answering this the night before, and when you wake up, you're now executing on what you want. So for me, this comes into the concept of deep work, which is long, uninterrupted periods of focusing on one thing that is of the highest leverage for me in my life, moving my life forward towards the best version of myself, towards the best business that I can build. Okay? So for me, I'm recording this video because I believe this is one of the highest leverage things that I can do right now, is getting this education out to you, building my follower base, my subscriber base, and allowing you to become a better version of yourself, in which my hope is that you can go and impact people. And just maybe, if you need a brotherhood, if you need some more protocols, you'll check out what we got going on inside of Actualize, okay? And I believe this is the highest leverage thing I can do. So guess what? I woke up, I did my morning ritual, and I came out and recorded this video. I haven't touched my phone yet today. This is my deep work. For you, what is your deep work? Once you've answered the question, what do I want? What do you want out of life? There's no fucking rules, man. Just answer the question. What do you truly want? Not what social media is telling you. What do you want? And then go and do that first thing in the morning for at least an hour, ideally 4. You know, when I was first starting Above Men, I shit you not, I used to not go on my phone until 2, 3, sometimes even 5 p.m. Normally it'd be like 12. But a lot of days, sometimes it wouldn't even be till 2, 3 p.m. And I would just do hours of deep work from 5, 6 o'clock in the morning because I just knew what I wanted. And there was nothing stopping me. I wasn't gonna let the outside world tell me I couldn't have it. I wasn't gonna let the outside world say, no, you should focus on this. Fuck that. I knew what I wanted, I got to work, and I was blessed to have the space and time and money to do that. But it's because I asked myself, what do I want? And then I figured it out. And I asked myself what I wanted a long time before I could actually step into a world where I could do 4 to 6 hours of deep work in the morning and not touch my phone. Understand that. Because you might start asking yourself, what do you want? And recognizing you can't have that right away, but you might be able to get a snippet of it. And then if you focus on long enough and you work towards it long enough, then you maybe get a little bit more of it. Then you get half of it. Then you get the full thing. But you gotta start somewhere. And that's awareness. And I'm trying to give you awareness right now and space to think about it by asking, what do I want? And leaning into that first thing in the morning and moving towards that just a little bit, brick by brick, day by day, so you can start moving towards that life you want. And building the life that you deserve, and building the life that you know you're capable of leading, and the person you're able to be, instead of reacting to who the world wants you to be. So, to recap, in closing, what do you do first thing in the morning? Are you going on your phone? Are you allowing the world to set the tone for your day by saying you're gonna be distracted, you're gonna constantly be seeking short hits of dopamine because you're giving your brain a bunch of paper cuts and so you can't focus? Are you telling the world that it's okay to let them choose how you should act, where you should spend your time, where you should focus, how you should feel by going on your phone first thing? Or are you choosing how you want to show up? By the way, either way, you're choosing, but you're allowing them to choose for you and you're accepting it versus you are making the conscious effort because you're asking yourself in a proactive manner with space around you, with stillness inside you, what do I want? How do I want to show up today? How do I want to feel? Because you always get to decide, my friend. You make the rules. So set yourself up to win. And you do this by not going on your phone in the morning. One simple little habit. Did you really think that just one little habit could change your life so much? Probably not. Probably because you haven't thought about it that much. Probably because anytime you go to think, you grab your phone and distract yourself. It's all good, bro. Today's the day. You're gonna make the change. If you're sitting with me 25 minutes in, you're doing something right. Celebrate yourself for that. And again, I'm not using fucking science and studies and blah, blah, blah. I'm using life fucking experience. Things that I've done in my life to get me where I am, to live the life that I'm, like I said, I don't have quote unquote the dream life, but I do the things that my dream life would want. What I mean by that is that I've been able to build a life where I gotta wake up and do what I love every single morning. Do I have the wife? Do I have the house? Do I have the kids yet? No, it's okay. They're coming, they're on their way. Just haven't met them yet. Haven't bought the house yet. But I know I'm heading towards that. Why? Because I give myself the space to think about it. I give myself the space to stay clear, not let myself get distracted. So that's it, my friends. Hope you enjoyed this one just as much as I enjoyed speaking it, teaching it, sharing it. If this was valuable and you are sticking around, which I appreciate, I'd love if you could share this with a friend that's a little addicted monkey on their phone. And for you, I'd love if you could subscribe. It would mean the world to me. We're doing something really cool here at Actualize. And to subscribe or to show, that you're interested would mean my efforts are worthwhile here. So I'll see you on the next one.